All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board Workshop Session. Today is Friday, August 15th, 2025. Thank you for being here this morning. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Schroeder so he can walk us through the applications that we'll be hearing starting at 9 o'clock for our public hearing. No action will be taken during the workshop session, but we'll just be listening and taking notes. Mr. Schroeder, the floor is yours.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Got four quick ones today. So first, we've got, hopefully they show up today. I don't see them in the audience yet, but 2 months ago, these guys were supposed to be here to represent this sign, and so hopefully they'll be back here today. It's going in replacement of the Hypes Belle Isle sign that's at 178 South Main Street. You just now telling me that, Joel?
All right.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so this sign is going in replacement of the Hypes Belle Isle sign. I think they've got a little bit different of a version of it that I've seen, but I couldn't find a good PDF of it. So hopefully, if they come, they'll bring new. Next, we have the Super Golden Buffet, which is the old Golden Corral building out on North Point Drive and North Point Parkway. They are, you can see on the little site plan here, they want to add a little addition on the North Point Parkway side of the building. They're currently in the building now and open for business, and so they want to just expand that exterior wall. So here's the expansion. I don't know. I'm not really a super big fan of it. I think with the sign still up on there, which obviously won't say Golden Corral anymore, but
Actually, there's a different sign up there.
there's a different one up there already. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it makes that look odd when it's in mid building like that. I think the sign needs to be on the end. I also think potentially you can see here in this upper corner, I don't know, I almost feel like it would look better to expand the entire building instead of just a portion, but they can't do just a portion because of this building setback, so they had to shrink it. But I think it would be better if they would have applied for a variance to get that out there, because I just feel like this isn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. But that's what they want to do.
And this is the only exterior elevation picture we have, right?
Yep.
Sure, it'd be nice. You know,
We have this,
I'm visual,
which is,
I gotta see it.
so, yeah. Anyway,
Did they provide any colored renderings, or
no.
can you go back to the front building view for a second? Yeah, there.
This one?
No, the next one. There you go.
Yeah, there's stone on the bottom, and I don't think there's stone anywhere else on the building.
Well,
It says to match the document I looked at.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I wanted.
I'm not really sure that the
Colored renderings to
architect
show what it
ever
looked like.
Right.
visited the site.
Yeah, and it's hard with that stacked stone material. It's hard to match anyway, but it doesn't exist. And then they also transitioned from the, I believe, masonry on the main body of the building to an ephes, and then also an ephes on the gable.
Yeah.
And it says proposed roof, but I mean, what is that? Is it shingles? What is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
Somewhere I think it said to match existing, right?
well,
Oh, asphalt roof shingles, okay.
the existing is an orange standing seam metal roof.
But on here, they call for asphalt roof shingles,
Yeah.
so it'll be a different roof.
Yeah, so it's like all the materials are different than the main building.
I think you're right. I don't think the architect even visited the site.
Or looked at any pictures,
Or, yeah. Okay.
potentially. Okay. And they provided a lot of stuff.
Brett, did they come before you for the new sign?
Yes. Yes, I believe they do have sign permits.
The Super Golden Buffet?
Yeah.
Okay. With the chef's hat.
Okay, and then we have Continuum. This is going to be remember last month we did just around the monument signs. Now we're starting down the interior streets. So not going to give you much on that. But they'll fill you in on all that. Then we're going to go to Continuum's Ashton, Atlanta residential. Let me go back up here. So this is an overall site, and down here is this residential piece that we're looking at. This is the Windward intersection that we looked at the signage for last month, and then we'll see some of this streetscape stuff along through here. So these are the two HP buildings that are currently out there. We saw this building a couple of months ago. This is the multifamily. And then now we're seeing the residential.
So that green area there, that's a stream buffer?
This,
Yeah.
I think there's stream buffer in there, and I want to say there's also retention in there, and maybe current retention. Yeah.
Mulch trail too.
So here's the site plan. So I told them our biggest focus would be these three buildings and these 9 or 10, however many's there. I don't really feel like we'll be able to see much of this. And this interior stuff, you won't see it at all.
The renderings sent, I believe, were clusters of 4 buildings. Is that just
There's clusters, yeah. And so what I asked them to do was when, sort of like what we did with, I can't remember it again, but the subdivision we saw a few months ago where they had elevation A, elevation B, elevation C. I said, so tell us if this group of buildings is elevation A, then show us where elevation A is going. And if that's 4 buildings, then just put that out there. This is A, and A. Because we won't want things lined up side by side. And, we want to try to get a little bit of a mixture in there. So I told them to focus on the ends and the public views. And then this building, pretty much 360 is a big focus. All the buildings are 360, but, from the public view, this is going to be the main public travel is going to be right there. So,
Brett, did you find any, or did you get the council conditions?
I didn't find any conditions that would affect the architecture of this residential.
Okay.
Staff was sort of hoping for something a hair bit more traditional. But there wasn't a condition on that. So this is one set of their elevations. Materials. I like the materials. I think they're nice materials. One thing that sort of I wasn't super clear on was they call this brick Stone Mountain. And they also call this brick Stone Mountain, which clearly appears different. So I don't know if it is or not, but they have done a different mortar with each one of them.
The renderings look like a different brick too.
Yeah.
One looks white, one looks kind of
Yeah,
brown.
so-
It might be a typo.
So I'm not really sure on the brick, but you can see in the renderings that they've moved the wood sort of feature around a little bit. They've changed the doors. They've changed up window patterns a little bit. On this first set of renderings, you can see the kind of the transom windows on the second level of this building. Then you come over here and the transom's gone. It's more of a, I'm gonna guess probably 8-foot doors or something like that, or 8-foot proposed windows, or I think they'd be nice to be a big nano wall right there and be able to open it all up, but that's just me. And then they've moved it around again a little bit, added some features, a little bit different cap on this building. Not really sure that they're quite different enough from what I think staff had hoped they would be, a little bit more individualized, but we also don't have to sell them, so.
Do you think staff, do you think council or staff would have wanted more variation within the clusters or between the clusters? You know what I mean, of buildings?
I don't, it's a different feeling product, I think, than what we have in some of the other townhomes that try to feel more like what do I want to say? They try to feel more like a detached, but they're not.
Right.
I think this is obviously, you know, it's a different marketplace. It's going to be a different grouping of people. I think it's going to be a younger crowd. I think that's going to gravitate towards this versus I have to have, you know, so much difference in my stuff.
This has more of a multifamily feel.
It has more of a multifamily feel to it. Yeah.
And these are for sale units, right?
Yes, these are for sale units.
I know they did some drawings of the side and rear elevations. Yeah, there you go. Did they do anything in the front?
You see what I got. So I'm assuming that they're using this as the front.
Because that's just kind of a hand sketch.
Yeah.
Not-
But
And these are all
I
proposed.
think I think it's representative enough that, you know, they've got the details in the bricks and the different things. So it's, I mean, yes, they didn't do 2Ds, but
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat consistent with the multifamily, though, that they showed us, right? It seems to be, the development seems to be more of a contemporary feel.
Yeah, stylistically, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the quality of the materials is great. I would probably recommend that with some simple moves that maybe they could define the base of the building a little bit more and then maybe have some kind of articulation in the roof line so that it's not straight across, to maybe give a little more height you know, like maybe if they popped up the masonry above the you know, the current parapet line to just kind of break up the box from a vertical perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
But the quality of the material, I think, is great. And if you're spending that kind of money on that kind of material, why not kind of create a little more articulation in the facade without
yeah.
costing anything?
Yeah, it kind of looks like marching soldiers to me,
Yeah.
you know, just not.
It does to me too, but I happened to be reviewing this with my nephew sitting beside me, and he was in love. He's like, that's just awesome. So it's, you know, it's just a different feel. It's a different, you know, like I said, I think it's going to be a different group of people that's going to gravitate out there. And I'm going to guess that potentially, you know, as we looked at the townhomes across Haynesbridge over here that are, you know, selling at what, 1.4 and up, I'm going to guess these aren't going to be that, you know, so.
And if these were facing west side or windward, it'd be more important, I think, to
Oh,
have
yes.
a lot more variation.
I agree.
in this, right? But it's
I'm thinking, I'm just
material.
thinking for the audience, the people that are going to be buying these,
Yeah. Wouldn't be for me, but
I was in a neighborhood in Woodstock the other day off of Dupree Road that I remember Richard McLeod talking about and really hyping it up how fun of a project that was going to be. Looks just like this. I mean, it's different. It's got a different architecture to it, but they changed up just a little bit here and there, and there wasn't a single for sale sign that I saw.
look, we're getting a lot more of this, right? This is, even on Park Walk, on the main drags, we insisted on more variation, but when you get interior,
Yeah.
you get a lot more marching soldiers, right?
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
That's that.
all right. Any other questions for Mr. Schroeder this morning? All right, with that, I'll adjourn the workshop session. Let's get back here, 9 o'clock to get our public hearing started. Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board meeting, the public hearing this morning. Today is Friday, August 15th, 2025. Welcome. Thank you for being here this morning. A quick, gentle reminder that if you'll silence your electronic devices, please. Appreciate that. All right, our first order of business is roll call, and we have everyone's here. Well, Mr. Corkle is not here this morning. I think he's moving his triplets into college today, so he's got 3 times the amount of items to move in and move out. But we got Mr. LeCain here as an alternate, so thanks for being here, Tom, this morning. Okay, if everybody will stand, we'll face the flag and have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, next up, any items from staff this morning? Anything?
Yes, I need to read the public hearing procedure because I forgot to put it on the agenda.
All right, thank you, Ellie.
As an individual requesting to be heard on a matter related to the purpose of the hearing must be recognized by the chair before addressing the board. Upon rising to speak, the speaker must identify himself or herself and furnish a home or business address before proceeding with any comments or remarks. The board will allow the proponents a total of 10 minutes to speak in support of an application. Opponents will also be allowed 10 minutes to speak in opposition. Comments are accepted first from the applicant, followed by persons speaking in favor, then from those in opposition. Upon conclusion of any opposing comments or presentations, the chair will allow the applicant to offer rebuttal if any time is remaining in the original allotted 10 minutes, and the chair has discretion to give more time if he feels it's needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie, for that. All right. Any other items from staff this morning? Any other updates? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Building up. So be prepared. We'll probably for sure be past lunch next month.
Okay.
I don't think far past, but we won't be as quick as we are this month. So
And I believe we have an application where 2 of the members will not be able to participate. So we definitely will need both alternates here, so we're going to try to work on that. Thank you.
Okay.
Kane, if you're going to be available next month, we'll definitely be able to use you and Kim as well.
I asked Kim to be here this morning. She couldn't. She had family in town, so hence the reason, Tom, you're here this morning. But always good to see you.
It's good to be here.
All right. Okay, very good. Thanks for that. It looks, how many applications do we have right now on kind of tentative 07 for September? Okay. All right, very good. Okay, are there any items from board members this morning? Anything from board members? I assume things are progressing with our committees to review our guidelines. Fingers crossed, landscaping and signage and exterior elevations and materials. Okay, very good. We'd like to get that kind of more finalized and wrapped up so we can get it to staff for their reviews, and then have to get it to city council for their reviews for review and approval. So hopefully by the end of the year, fingers crossed. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is to review and approve our July 18th, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes. I assume everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve such, please?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the DRB meeting minutes July 18th, 2025. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Palmer, a second by Ms. Sprayberry to approve the July 18th, 2025 Design Review Board meeting minutes. There'll be no comments or questions about the motion on the floor. I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board meeting minutes of July 18th, 2025, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Minutes are approved 7-0. All right, thank you for that. Okay. Our first application this morning, our applicant is MPT at 178 South Main Street. Are you here this morning? All right. come on down, please. Or come on up, please, if you'll make sure you introduce yourself this morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Dietz, tax.
Okay, good morning, Tony. All right, if you can walk us through with what you have in your application this morning, please.
No, what you need?
Oh, you
Just,
need the iPad connection?
Yep.
Um,
Which was here the last time.
yeah. See if I have a USB-C over. Is it C or Lightning?
Sig.
So,
What are you looking for?
Or at least
I think
I can send it to you real quick, Brett.
Oh, man,
Sorry about the hiccup.
bear with us here just a second. I have this one. I don't know if it's the.
Here, I'll send you the most current one, just so you have it, Brett. Check your email. Maybe it'll get there that quick.
We will in a second, yeah. We need to get one of those dongles and like hog tie it to the podium.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
They seem to walk off.
Yeah, they walk off pretty regularly.
I've got a multi-purpose kind of
Do you?
different, if you want to try one of those. See if, I don't know whether it's got, it doesn't have HDMI, but
I don't know how.
What's the first?
They're all connected together. How do you
No,
use it?
well, you got a USB, so you plug into your,
unfortunately.
And then any one of the others.
and then you want to, nope, okay, all right, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, maybe I can steal this.
Pretty cool. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay,
Did you get it?
well, let's go with this one and
Sure.
just tell them what the differences are. So, okay, you'll, got me? Okay.
That's the existing sign right now. That's basically the new one. Push through, halo lit, brushed aluminum fairs, internally lit.
So it's a push through, but they're not, you're gonna have vinyl or something on the front?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, once you take that, and just ship it, just walk that around through.
So, okay.
It won't be directly lit, it'll just kind of halo.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tony, did you bring some color samples with you?
No,
Actual?
basically black and silver, black and aluminum.
Okay.
The MPT looked green. Is that not
Yes.
the case?
Something, there's another color in there, or what you just showed us. Right?
I'm sorry.
There is another, there's a third color, right?
I'm sorry, yes, sir, the green.
Have you actually tried to lay this sign, the rectangular sign out on the building up
Yes,
there?
sir.
And
I
can
was
we,
hoping Brett had that.
so Brett, so you're looking at it, Brett?
Did you? Okay, excellent.
There you go.
So, okay, so 24.
I think that's narrower than the submission that was online, isn't it?
It is, I think the submission was 30 inches deep.
Yeah. Are there standoffs on the main sign background? Is it?
No, sir.
So it goes flush against
It would be just a
masonry?
cabinet, square
The-
cabinet.
So the cabinet goes flush?
Correct.
And the reason why you pulled it down was because the corbelling?
I'm sorry.
The reason why you pulled it down as far as you did is because of the masonry projections?
It's, so Tony and I talked about individual letters, and it's really, with all these letters, it's nearly impossible to do that and get any sort of illumination to it.
How are you going to patch all the penetrations from the hype spell aisle signage? Isn't there a
From
lot
the
of?
previous signage?
Yeah.
We-
Isn't,
Like we normally would.
I mean,
Fill
'cause
all the holes and patch them.
there's a lot of holes and it's.
Well, the
seems
other
like-
one was, it looks like it was on a raceway. The old sign is on a raceway. It was on a raceway. So there'd be minimal penetrations.
So you're tucked right up against the brick corbelling, which is there on each of the columns. And for those that don't know what corbelling is, each course of brick projects a little bit further out than the course below it, for instance. And so there looks like there's a couple courses. If you look at the precast banding there, yeah, the corbelling actually comes out a couple courses below that, okay?
It's like it's 2 courses below.
Okay. I just kind of hate that you're covered up. You know, we've got this big center arched way. I don't know that's a semicircular arch. It's kind of a,
We can bring it up a little bit and not, I have a feeling that's more on the design end than the actual installation end, because we would not cover that arch. It would have to come up a little bit.
If you did though, it seems like you'd have to put the box on standoffs to be able to clear the corbelling, right?
If we need to, we could work around that, yes.
you've got, I was just looking, you've got 8 courses of brick between the soldier coursing at the top of the arch and the corbelling. So 8 courses of brick is 24, it's about 21 inches. So could you make that sign work as a 21-inch deep sign?
I don't see why not.
Just to keep it, so you're not concealing the architecture. is
No,
what
I
I'm
understand.
saying. I mean, I'm guessing, I'm just kind of counting in this photograph that Brett has up where the 24 inch is. I'm counting the kind of, let's see, how many brick courses are there?
Yeah, and it's hard to count because you can see that they're, when they laid the image over, it's got a little,
Oh, yes, that's right.
little funniness to it, so.
Go back to that, go back to the
Tony
original
does a great job
picture.
When they do the interior stuff.
There you
Like
go.
When they do the site stuff, so I think,
So count, all right, start at kind of the top of the arch right there. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 courses. So,
that's gonna be 8, and that's what, 3
so
inch?
each 3 courses of brick and 3 mortar joints are 8 inches tall. So 3 and 3, it's 16. 6 courses is 16 plus
like
another
21.
2 courses, so, yeah.
21 and change. I mean, it would be great if the cabinet could push right up against to the bottom of the corbelling and then clear the soldier course
Yeah, and
arch.
it's hard to tell in this one if this one
Well,
here,
it changes, you can tell it changes courses. You've got a header that protrudes out, a header brick.
Right.
Or the sailor, I guess. I
Yeah.
got my terminology. And then you got the,
There's two
running
bricks below the precast that it would have to show those 2 bricks to push up against the corbelling. And
and that's just my preference, not to conceal some of the architecture. I mean, this has got a lot of great architectural features, I think.
At worst, I think we can bring the length in a little bit and fit it in under the windowsill.
I'm not too.
Shorten the length of the sign. Correct, yeah, fit it in the middle.
I'm not sure,
I don't
I'm
think
not
you
too
need to
worried
do
about
that.
That way it alleviates all those issues.
I'm not too worried about the length of it, because actually the Hypes and Belle Isle sign is
It's much bigger, I
longer
know. This
than
is kind of one of
this
those
sign, so-
problems.
I think that if you could push it up to where the brick projects, kind of like the way that you have it, and just have it narrow enough to clear the soldiers for the arch, I think it would be great.
where would your perspective be that you don't want them to cover? From the street or from right at it? Because what we could do is your cabinet, make it shorter, 18 inches, whatever, and then put the silver plate so that they wouldn't actually be, the silver plate would be 4 inches forward of the brick. So if you looked up, you would see all the brick.
Oh, let it lip out on the sides.
Yeah,
We could do that.
Or is it just visually flat from the street that you don't really want it over that arch?
That's kind of what I think.
I think it's visually flat from the street, kind of like this picture that we have, yeah.
What do you guys think of, instead of stacking the Mahaffey, Pickens, Tucker, extending it longer so that the sign could be narrower without reducing the letter height? I mean, that's another option.
We obviously need to go back to the client and let them
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Just a thought.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, that'd probably be a pretty long sign, though, if you did that.
Yeah, I mean, it would extend into the other window cutouts, but I don't think it would look bad.
I don't think, yeah, I mean,
I guess the key here is we're okay with the look of the sign, but we don't want it to cover the corbelling or the soldier course. So however, they can do that, right?
that's a fair statement,
Yeah.
at least from my perspective.
Same here.
If that's what the board chooses, I can get back with Brett and
Yeah,
give him a revised drawing, and we'll figure something
I
out.
think we could do an approval with that condition, and then you could work out the rest with staff.
Sure.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd like to see is that green color submitted to staff for, since you
Final approval,
don't have
sure.
a
I'll send
sample
him-
of the
I'll
green
send a
color
paint chip
submitted. It's
around.
just, I mean, on the rendering, it looks fine, but just to be sure that it's a appropriate color.
Sometimes we get actual color samples that don't quite match what's on our monitors, so that's
Is
all
it-
we're doing.
This is the old Milton, the old Milton elevation, correct? Not the.
Yes.
Because I think last month they submitted,
Last month we had a different, or the last time, yeah, it was a different one. It was, appeared on the back. And-
Yep.
and
We corrected that.
We corrected that, yeah.
good.
Okay, very good.
Tony didn't even realize that that was what got sent to me, so.
Okay. All right, before there's any motions or anything, I'll ask for any public comment about this application this morning. Is there any public comment? All right, no public comment. All right, does somebody want to?
So, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250020 MPT, motion to approve the sign design as submitted with the following condition. Applicant will submit a sample of the green color to staff for final approval, and the sign will be resized so that it does not cover the brick corbelling or the soldier courses on the arch, with final approval by staff. And a motion.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Swing, a second by Mr. Rowan. Any comments or questions about the motion on the floor? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes 7-0. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
No, anytime.
Okay, our next applicant this morning is Super Golden Buffet. Looks like you're here. Come on up or come on down, please. Good morning. All right, if you make sure, or I guess maybe you need to get plugged in, but if you make sure you speak into the microphone and introduce yourself this morning, and then give us an overview of what's in your application this morning, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Jack. I'm here on behalf of the Super Golden Buffet. Pulling up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on theirs, it's coming up there.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying to see if approval for extension, their buffet site to the right of the buffet. There used to be a couple parking spot, and we're trying to build it out, and so we have more seating to the area. So,
Okay. All right, we'll wait till that pulls up so you can walk us through
You
the,
guys see it?
no. We see the, oh, yes, we see a rock. Okay. All right, very good.
yes, sir.
All right, walk us through again. Show us where the expansion or addition is going. if
So
you
the
will.
extension is going right here, and if we scroll down a little bit,
Okay,
this is the parking space that is gonna take over. And it's just taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, seventh parking space out of the next to the building, and everything else we're leaving.
okay. So you're expanding your dining room is what you're trying to do?
Yes, sir.
I see, okay. All right, and then show us like some of the elevations, if you will.
So this is the existing, how it is right now.
Okay, and that's happening, again, the expansion's happening on the
Right
right-hand
on, right.
screen, right? Okay.
sir.
So you're taking down some of those walls or taking out?
We're not taking it out any wall, we're just making a doorway so going in and out. So not changing that much, just walking, 2 doorway, one to left, one for right, for people coming in and out, and just we're building it out. So for seating area, that's it.
Okay,
And this is the design of after they build out, that's how it's supposed to be.
okay.
Is majority seating area on here, and if it's approval, we want to add a service station right there, so servers can get to all the guests next to it pretty faster, and there's plumbing in the wall already, so we don't have to tear anything wall down.
Okay. All right, and then show us what, like, the exterior elevations look like for that expansion, please. What that looks like, well, why don't you hold up right there, so that's the roof,
Yes, sir.
all right?
So is the dark dash line at the top, that's the setback line?
This line should be in the middle, that is like a triangle.
No,
going
The angled line.
At
The
very
angled line
top,
at the very
page
top, that
top.
dark dash
Yes.
line right
This
there?
one?
Is that the setback line you're trying to stay within?
I don't believe,
Yeah, is that what it is? Okay.
Setback, okay.
So that's why the addition can't be as wide as the building, because of that.
Air rights. Okay. It looks like you've got, I guess, I just see one roof penetration, what's called the VTR there. It's coming up from the, your little serving station, that rectangular serving station you have there. So you've got one roof penetration, okay?
Is that a,
It's a
looks
vent,
like it.
vent through roof from probably from the sink right there or something. maybe just move that to the back, but,
Yeah.
okay. All right, let's look at your elevations then, please.
That's the elevation.
Okay, walk us through the exterior materials that you're proposing, please.
I'm sorry?
If you'll walk us through the exterior materials.
Exterior material is gonna be brick, and then on the top is gonna be metal, same as the current one right now.
So, all right, what, you said brick. Where's, on this elevation that you're showing us, where's the brick?
So these is all brick built out, and this is stone to match the current one. So our current is brick, and then on the bottom is just a masonry, what we call stone on the bottom. It's like how Golden Corral is right now as a buffet. We're just building it out and trying to match everything exactly.
Okay.
Can you pull up the existing building?
Yeah. I work there. The architect is not.
Yeah, there's some conflicting information because, okay. Well, this isn't the same color either.
Can you share your picture from last night?
Google.
Yeah, okay.
There's no stone on this building.
No, that's right, and that's what we're,
Bottom.
Yeah, there's no stone.
Yeah, different color brick.
Yeah. You're not the, you're, okay.
I'm
you're not the architect.
The architect didn't show up, so they asked me to show up.
oh,
But for our perspective, is we're gonna build everything exactly as it is, just extending it out.
okay, because what the architect is showing is completely different than what the existing building has on it. There's no stone.
Yeah, we're not building.
Just a shingled roof.
It's a shingled roof, not a standing seam.
No, okay,
So-
the architect is wrong then, because we want to build exactly as this is, because we built a extension for our first location in Lawrenceville, which is the exact same thing. They're built it out, and they have the metal, everything to match the original one.
There's also some other detailing that, I don't know if we can move to the right. Well, there's the band above the water line, but there's also the metal roof. I think they're showing shingles on it. And there's also some detailing around the window that's been excluded on the architectural drawing. There's a little bit of banding, I believe, there. It's not just aluminum storefront, there's divider.
You know about that lighter colored soldier course?
No, I'm actually talking about the spacing between the windows.
up
It's
above.
pretty minor, but the vertical spacing between the windows, they have some kind of, I don't know what finish it is, maybe it's an aluminum, cover, but. And there's also, it looks like almost like a wood painted band above the windows and a different color masonry piece at the top of the window, adjacent to it. See the beige?
So your intent is to match this end
Yes, sir.
exactly,
Yes, sir.
just forward.
Yes, sir. So essentially, we're just coming out to the park spot, not exactly all the way out, still leaving some space for walkway
And
or,
you're leaving this
yes, sir,
interior of the buildings, this is staying inside the building?
that is.
Can you go back to the elevation drawing?
You know, there's two, I hate to be a pessimist about this, but this building's 21 years old.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that you're gonna find brick to match the existing brick.
We can get sample and to make sure.
And because there's two different brick colors
sir.
on this building.
Yeah, we can get sample and to make sure it match.
Oh, there's three. I'm
There's
sorry.
three,
All right.
yeah.
Stand corrected.
Light brick, the darker red, and then a lighter red.
I-
Yeah, there's
I-
one on the bottom, one on the top, and then a little one in the middle.
Yeah.
I also had some questions about the infill of the existing windows on the end. It looks like mid-window, the building returns, and I'm not sure how that will work out. See the existing building windows, they're infilling them with, it looks like ephes. Like, I almost feel like they need to clean up the whole wall, and if it's masonry, to just return it in and then extend it out on the addition.
Well,
Yeah,
and then,
staff has been struggling for a long time with the architect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it sounds like
The
probably
current architect,
the ownership is struggling with them as well, which has been a huge part of the problem here. A lot of these things have been brought up, how is this gonna, you say it's gonna match in words, but what you draw isn't, and so it's, yeah.
It would be
We
a-
may not have brought this here had it not been for all the questions that just weren't getting answered.
I mean, it would be easy to articulate what it needs to be, but you got to be able to, I feel like you need to be able to see it, to see how the pieces go together and how it works together. Because there is a lot of detailing in the addition, even if you said, oh, this is brick and this is, a soldier course, like, I think you need to see it in order to see how it all works together. Because I don't think that the existing building is accurately shown either.
Do you know, are they working with a new architect now, or are they still trying to work with the same?
or, because currently, right now, all this is in the current architect. We have to get it either approved or denied, and then we have to work something out with her. If it doesn't work out, I can get a new architect, start doing everything.
Yeah,
So I might recommend that the board, I really don't, I don't really want to deny it,
well, with
but if
defer,
that will help them, we can do that and just, with comment that, we're denying it because all these questions aren't answered,
And then,
and it gives them the opportunity to come back.
yeah, and then I can talk to architect saying, hey, your design doesn't match what we're currently having. Because right
Yes.
now, according to the board, that the design is shingle on top. We don't want shingle. We want metal roof to match the current one, so everything look aesthetic as it is.
Yeah, and which brings up another point that I'll talk with the ownership about, with that. So I mean, I think it's up to you guys, but I think at this point, since we don't have the architect here, I think we have to either deny or defer it.
Yeah, I just don't think there's enough information. I mean, it would be a page-long conditions, and we probably wouldn't be able to articulate it in a way that could be comfortably executed.
Would you prefer a denial or a deferral? Do you understand the difference?
I know denial is a no, deferral is a push it back to later.
Push it back to a later date, gives you opportunity to change it. What do you need for?
Can we get a deferral so I can get the architect in, trying to get her in here to talk more? Because design-wise, I don't want to speak because this is all architect. She
Yeah.
don't want to show up today.
So you don't need a denial.
No.
A deferral would work for you.
Yes, sir.
well, I think we also need to discuss that the Google Maps picture we just saw, Brett, they've painted the roof orange. They've painted other parts of the building, and that's not been approved. In fact, this is in the North Point Commons district. And at one point, the firm that Eric and I used to work for generated guidelines for that about different colors and materials.
It's my first project.
And none of this has been followed, so.
I think
We
you
got-
and I need to have some conversations.
Okay.
Can I-
Commonly with the architect.
Can I add one more thing and relating to like landscaping? Because when this building addition comes on, there's going to need to be some kind of transition from the building to the parking lot. And I presume that there would need to be either landscaping or some kind of sidewalk detail.
There'll have to be something over there. I don't know that the fire marshal will determine whether it's a sidewalk,
Okay,
but there'll at least have to be foundation plantings So I'll work on that.
And there's also the existing trees on the islands. Are they going to be staying? Are they going to be damaged during construction, all that
Right,
stuff?
yeah. We'll have a better conversation and we'll discuss it all. Yeah.
And I know your intention is to match the existing brick. I'd recommend before you come back with a proposal that says you're going to match the existing brick, that you verify you can match the brick. Because otherwise, then you'd have to come back again with a different alternative. So I would go verify that you can match that brick before you come back in.
So I might open a can of worms, but.
Yeah, but if you can't match it, we,
Based on that, then we probably cannot match it. I think painting is probably gonna be the next thing. So,
I would try. Go to North Georgia Brick or Boral.
yes, but I'm with, I think, Mr. Kramer, that 21 years is, that's a long time to try to match
Oh,
something.
yeah, unless it's sitting in somebody's yard. The other thing is, obviously, the addition is a little bit smaller than the main building, so with that differentiation, there may be an opportunity that you don't have to paint everything, that this becomes a separate kind of piece and separate design to it. Now, the other thing is, I was kind of curious, is why didn't they just follow the roof line, the existing roof line, and pull everything out another 20 feet to keep some consistency? But this has got the step, so, yeah. Anyway, I think what we're seeing is the application that we have here this morning, the materials don't match. You're saying the materials are supposed to match the existing building, they don't. So we've got, lots of issues that.
Yes, sir.
And then the painting of the roof, that the orange color has not been approved, and all the other accent colors haven't been approved, so.
So we'll talk with it, make sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you all my cards, and they're gonna take some formal action here, and then you can reach out to me.
Okay, so that'll mean if we defer, then it needs to be advertised, so the soonest we can see it then would be our October meeting.
Yes, sir.
That may give you some time to kind of regroup and get everything,
Yeah. Or
get
give me some
get
time
a
to
plan of
review it.
action together, okay? Okay. Before we have a motion or anything, is there any public comment about this application? Any public comment this morning? No public comment, okay? All right, somebody want to make a motion to defer, please?
Mr. Chairman, with regard to DRB 250027 Super Golden Buffet, I make a motion we defer so the applicant can take our comments back to that architect and get some clarification. Into motion?
Second.
All right, motion by Ms. Palmer, a second by Mr. LaCane. Any comments or questions about the motion on the floor? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes 7-0. All right, Jack, thank you for your time this morning. We'll see you probably in about 2 months, or maybe the architect.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. Next up is Continuum Alpharetta. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Want to get plugged in and set up. But just a gentle reminder, once you do, if you'll introduce yourself, make sure you speak into the microphone, and then you'll give us an overview of what's in our application this morning, please.
All right. Good morning. My name is Brian Dodd with B+T Studio. I'm here representing Southwest Value Partners and Mr. Ben Dance. We have Teddy Schroeder from Kimley Horn as well joining us today. It's great to see everybody again. We're here today to present the landscape improvements for the infrastructure coming off Windward Parkway. The main area that we're focused on is basically 350 feet into the site, which is shown in this red box. I do have plans showing the whole entire streetscape joining the end of the townhomes. So we do have that streetscape and are currently submitting that with the LDP submission. So that has all been designed, and as mentioned during the last month and the multifamily DRB, we are remaining in line with the design guidelines for native plantings, which is sticking with the ecological goals of Georgia and the Big Creek watershed and the Piedmont region. So we're like 90% native for the trees and 65% native for the ground understory. So we're sticking with that with, the big swaths of grasses, perennials, and then kind of native shrubs popping up behind it. So we're sticking with those guidelines. As mentioned, this is Windward Parkway moving west off 400. It's kind of oriented a little different. So it's planned north, but that'd be moving west. This would be the first 350 feet as mentioned. We touched on the sign last month, so you guys are pretty aware of what's going on here. We did update based on removing some of the muley grass and adding some evergreens in the back to kind of create that backdrop for evergreens in the winter. Yeah, again, mentioning overstory trees along the streetscape in the middle. I did want to mention also the timeline of the monument sign has lined with the infrastructure improvements, so we will be providing irrigation, which I know is a kind of a main point. So everything kind of worked out, so we don't have any conflicts in the signal and everything like that. So
Good to hear.
yeah. So let me see here. So this is kind of before and after pictures, per se. This is looking into the site on the new Dance Boulevard. The signage will be sitting here. This would be that view now. So as you can see, the road is widening. Exit is 4 lanes now. Entry is 2 lanes. You can see the signal, the repositioning of the signal, so there's no conflict there. Showing the new sidewalk, our kind of boulder outcrop with perennials kind of setting off those, that decorative kind of good looking landscape at the sign. And then as we meander down down Dance Boulevard, we have kind of meandering sod lines that kind of help guide you into the site with, as I said, grass, swaths of grass up the hill kind of going into the site. So these are kind of a couple more views going into the site. Let me get a picture of this section before. So this is the section right when you enter the site. And this would be kind of the after view. So as you can see, it's really much improved with revamping and modernizing this entry to this new mixed-use development. This is a second section, before and after. So this is moving, more into the site. That's before, kind of overgrown and, not much landscape, hasn't been improved for quite some time. And this would kind of be that section. So again, there's a slight hill here, so it would be kind of cool to have meandering sod, and then the grass is going up the hill as you enter the site on the right side. And then we have our overstory trees, which I mentioned are all native 90%, that kind of frame this main entry drive going in. These are just a couple photographs of what we're utilizing. You can see everything's mostly native. And then just kind of the variety of grasses and native shrubs we're using. Most of the shrubs we're using have really strong winter interest. As you can see, this witch hazel in the winter, they have those yellow flowers. The viburnum have white flowers in the winter, so, and the red twig dogwood that we're using has like red stems. So everything kind of in the backdrop behind the grasses will have interest in the wintertime. So we wanted to stick with that native feeling. So and most native are deciduous. So the deciduous plants we picked have interest. Just not, so they're just not branches out there. That's kind of high level.
Okay. Brian, would you go back to kind of the overall site plan for me, please? Just some kind of general questions, and maybe the first one is for Brett. Are there any more Windward Parkway improvements happening in this area? There. Okay.
Future phases.
Okay. And does that mean that Windward Parkway is expanding, getting wider, or is it?
No. I thought you meant for this project.
Well,
I don't know. I think DOT's done with Windward now.
okay. I just
So I don't think it's materially getting any larger or smaller.
okay.
The intersection, I do believe, is changing or tweaking.
This intersection?
This intersection.
Yeah, because well.
But I don't think Windward is.
Okay.
is-
I think the Windward has already been updated with the turn lane and everything.
Yes, I
like
know
that.
that. I just didn't know whether there's a free. What I'm curious about is now, once you turn off a Windward onto Dance Drive, you're heading towards Georgia 400, but you turn off a Windward onto Dance. You've got that little left turn lane right there. You see if you move your, just up above where it says number 3, you've got that left turn lane.
Yes.
I guess that's to get into what, Cabernet? Yes. And you're turning left, and you're having to cross 4 lanes of traffic to get to Cabernet. And it's right near the intersection, so it's kind of, and I'm not a traffic engineer, it just seems to be maybe kind of an awkward, quick left turn there, coming in off of.
Yeah, we don't need to address.
I understand that, I'm just
I know you're just, but.
observation here. I mean, I like
I was
them.
looking around trying to find answers.
No, okay, well,
One
I like
thing-
I like the median, and I like the landscaping of the median, it just kind of, but
To speak to that, unrelated to the actual traffic aspect, I would be mindful to ensure that the landscaping to the left of that little turn lane doesn't block any visibility, so that when you are doing that 4-lane crossover, that you could see the cars that are coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
If I may speak to that.
If you could-
Teddy Schrader, from
In-
Kimley Horn, the civil engineer. Teddy Schrader from Kimley Horn. To speak to the traffic part, we are actively coordinating with George Doyle's, with the city of Alpharetta, with our LDP, and we are looking at site triangles to ensure that the landscaping, this proposed landscaping, does not conflict with site triangles.
Great.
And also, our traffic signal design team at Kimley Horn has designed this intersection with that left turn in mind to the Cabernet. So all of that is being coordinated with LDP.
all right, just,
Thanks.
yeah, that's not in our purview. And then if you have a delivery truck coming through there, I don't know whether they're gonna bring an 18-wheeler, they have to make a left turn there or something, that's, they're gonna be rolling over stuff, so. Anyway, just food for thought. Okay, I mean, overall, I think it looks great. You've tried to complement what you've done around the monument sign type thing, so I think this looks, I mean, from my perspective, looks colorful and well done, so. But I'll entertain comments from other board members.
I agree. I love the palette. It's great. It continues what we saw at the entrance sign last time. Irrigation was brought up last time as well. So is this full area, including the medians, is that intended to be irrigated?
Yes, we will have irrigation moving
Okay.
forward. Yeah, as mentioned, it's coming to be in line with the infrastructure timeline and phasing, so
Okay.
everything will be irrigated.
Great.
Any other comments or questions for the applicant this morning? All right, there being none, I'll call for, is there any public comment about this application this morning? Any public comment? No public comment, okay. Is there any other parts or pieces that you need to show us this morning? Aside from, I guess, is this Dance Boulevard continuing all the way around to?
Yeah, I can just
to
pull up
west-
those.
To west side? I guess that eventually will be.
Yeah, so it does continue basically down to the end of the townhome portion, which is down here. So that's where it'll stop. So it doesn't quite go all the way to west side yet for this infrastructure.
So you'll be back in front of us again for some more parts and pieces?
Yeah, I mean, we've designed the streetscape and it's sticking with, again, the multifamily portion, which we were in front of the board.
Right.
And I'm sure Ashton Woods will probably be in front of you guys again as well, presenting their streetscape, so.
Okay.
As far as the LDP, but we designed from back curb to sidewalk, and then it carries on for future development past that, so.
So just to be, I guess I all of a sudden became a little unclear. So we're not looking at just this entrance. This is the streetscape design that's going to continue on that street. Okay.
Okay, it is.
For what's their portion.
For what's their portion, all right. All right, then describe again what's your portion.
I think our portion is the,
You
Well,
think or you know?
sorry. Our portion would be the infrastructure from back of curb to sidewalk.
Okay, but how deep into the site?
We were showing the 350 feet,
And that's,
just from windward view, so the board was able to see what is viewed from the public, from windward right away.
all right, so, this,
I was just, you asked about the.
well, yes, I figured since we're looking at, we've seen the first 350 feet, are you coming back with the next 350 or the next 500 or the next, how much more is there?
1 second,
It was
please.
just the entrance like last month,
That's why I was.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is great.
And I can speak to this briefly,
Okay.
if we've got the full, do you have the full site plan?
Because we never saw these drawings that you're showing us now in our package.
And so this is that piece that wraps down, wait, do you have that other, apologies. So visually, what you see here, what Brian's designed, carries from our point, and we can highlight this and just follow, if I can just run it with the cursor. That same aesthetic, same trees, same street section that he showed you here, that we brought up in design guidelines in the past, carries down through here, wraps down to this point, and then cuts down all the way down to here. South City came in May with the multifamily portion, which you all saw, the plantings. Obviously, B+C landscape architect on that. They came in, all of this, dovetails together, right? What he's shown you today works with what he's done on that side too. So visually, this street will get built on ownership side, Southwest Value Partners side. We are working with Brassfield and Gorey right now, going with Brett, with staff, to get the LDP with Kimley Horn to build the roadway. South City's building the multifamily portion, which includes then all the streetscape on that side, right from sidewalk onto their side. And then Ashton Woods, who will be presenting to you after us, will be delivering this portion here. Obviously that, that creek, that stream buffer right there is protected and will remain, but then the townhome portion will align with the rest of that streetscape. And so the goal of this was to run everything up from windward down, facilitate the creation of the multifamily, single-family portion of the site, and then as the other parcels come online, the rest of that streetscape starts to get built out.
So from us this morning, what are you seeking approval for?
For this entry piece, for that drive, for what?
Just that
yes.
350 feet?
Well, for the streetscape that carries from, basically what Brian showed on the technical drawings here, streetscape that continues from here down through, right? Because it's the same consistency, just the roadway. You saw the multifamily portion previously. Through our conditions, I believe, everything from public-facing side, we wanted to present to you today, and then with this a private drive, it just continues straight down through the
Just
site.
basically will finish up the street.
Yeah,
What, between multifamily, what they're doing on their side of the street, what these guys are doing on this side of the street, what Ashton's gonna do on their side, it's all now gonna be done. The streetscape will be the same, it's all been designed. It's gonna be different people doing it, but.
We've got three different groups
Right,
designing this.
But it's all
It's all
designed
coordinated.
in the design guide.
I think so.
yeah, and that's, yeah.
Those guys.
And I would say, our design guidelines from October 2023, that was, part of our conditions of the entitlements was get those done, right? That's got the overarching, design guide for the streetscape, everything else Brian just showed you here. Ownership, obviously, we are intimately involved with any and all work that South City's doing, that Ashton Woods is doing. I mean, it's in our, infinite interest to be consistent and make this site everything that, we want it to be on the master plan side. So basically, across the board, consistency is really what this.
And that's what we want too, and
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
In fact, and we saw the multifamily housing last
Yeah.
month. And I'm just like, all right, do we have the same land treescape?
Yes, sir.
Along
Yeah.
all of that? Because now looks like there's three firms designing different parts and pieces.
Understood. Yeah, but I think
Who's,
Three ownership. There's-
Three.
But Brian has done them
Yeah,
all.
so what we've done now, bringing B plus C on board, is to get that consistency across the site. 'Cause, this is a 52-acre site, right?
Yes.
We finished we've refurbished the existing building. I don't know if y'all have gone to see that, but you're welcome to stop by anytime. And now the next big piece of this project is to start that infrastructure, right? So get that main roadway, that spine road in, which we deliver, all the streetscape, and then all of that, the rest, the parcel streetscape for the multifamily, single family, et cetera, is heavily coordinated. And by that, I mean just just down to the.
so Brian, you're designing all the landscaping happening on this 50-plus acre site. Is that correct? Or
At this point, yes. And so we had, previously.
So I guess there's some consistency then.
Yes, sir. So to speak to today, the infrastructure from where Ben pointed to, B plus C has designed. So it is consistent with native plantings, with the design guidelines and the overstory trees and
Okay.
everything like that, yes.
I think that's what I'm looking for. Is
Yeah.
some-
Yes, sir.
No, there's-
Some reassurance that we're not
Oh,
hodgepodging,
yeah, and.
along the roadway here.
And from Southwest Value Partners' perspective, it is in our absolute interest.
Okay, well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate.
No, I'm just telling, I can assure you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we were just looking at the first 350 feet. And then all of a
Yeah,
sudden-
well, and that's the aesthetic side of that, but then yes, sir, that dovetails into the infrastructure portion.
But that same streetscape, the intent is to carry that same theme throughout the development.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right, I know right now you're talking about, I guess it's Dance Boulevard and it comes down and makes a left turn. I don't know what the name of that street is there where it makes the left turn, but
Yeah,
but the intention is all the streetscape follows this theme.
Yes, sir.
Throughout.
yeah, and it will always be that way, right?
I think it's required to, based on the design guidelines that we approved 2 years ago or a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that is correct.
It is. Brian's got three different owners he's trying to work with.
So this is really asking for approval for the streetscape for the entire
Yes, sir.
development in a way, because
That's it, right. It's separated out from the rest of the multifamily, single family, anything else like that. It's,
I mean, we could
What-
condition continuity along the approved roadways in conjunction with the presentation today, right?
Well, if it's already designed, would it make sense to just go down the street and put our eyes on it? On Brian's plan that he had? If we're approving the full scope of the streetscape?
Yeah, I can continue down the street.
I think that makes sense, just to put our eyes on it,
Yeah, why
and then
don't
it
you-
wouldn't
why
be a
don't you- if-
condition. We
If you
would
have
see
those
it.
drawings or those.
Right.
go beyond the entrance, right? 'Cause
Yes,
and
to
see
see that
and-
full
And see what
scope.
just the normal streetscape
To
looks
see how
like.
it ties together.
Brian, before you move into that, let me add this. One of the key factors that needs to be attended to here by the ownership and management is to prevent the contractor from going in there too soon in the winter and cutting things down that have died back a little bit. Because you've got an admirable blend of native and deciduous plants in there that we don't see used enough in that type of arrangement. But when the grasses die back and other things such as that, oftentimes the contractor wants to come in too soon because it's their job to cut stuff. And we want to manage your landscape the way you intend it to look all year. And I throw that out so that you'll be aware of how that does need to be managed to make it work the way you want it to look.
Yes, sir. That's understood, and I'm sure Southwest Value Partners has that in mind, and moving forward, they want this to, again, meet the design guidelines in that field, so they,
Yeah.
I think, have every intention in.
And it would be exemplary for a good way to do this sort of thing.
Yes, sir, Mr. Owens, we absolutely will do that. We, you know, so Brassfield and Gorey, Gibson, Tony Gibson Landscape, on the GC side will be doing that. And then, you know, we've got an engagement with ArborGuard, top-tier arborist group that will, you know, tree care plan that, I don't know, extends out a couple years beyond installation. And then, yes, sir, everything else within that will absolutely ensure that we make this a model for other locations.
Yeah.
A lot of
Thank you.
times we'll create a, like a maintenance schedule as landscape architects to pass off to the landscape contractor to make that communication between the two a little easier. So I guess I might recommend
Okay.
that.
Yeah, great point.
Thank you. All right, yeah, so just moving down Dance Boulevard, this is basically kind of where we stopped here. So, as you can see, we're continuing the overstory framing, continuing the grass sod meandering down the back of the sidewalk. This section kind of interacts with the multifamily portion that you guys have seen before. The multifamily future will be right here. So this streetscape matches what was shown in May and approved. Here we're picking up kind of more, maybe kind of a little more wild, not to say too wild, but kind of more lush and swaths that kind of pick up with the more native and more perennials, because as we move down here, we're going to be adjacent to the new trail. So this is the tree save area and that stream buffer that was noted earlier. So again, sticking with the creek, Big Creek watershed, we wanted to kind of present some more perennials and more color in this area. So, and then this side would be the multifamily portion again. And this would be the beginning of the single-family portion moving down the streetscape. And again, just keeping with, you know, that kind of swaths of grass, perennials, native shrubs in the tree islands with the overstory native trees. So, yeah, I mean, we're sticking with the same plant palette as you saw for that first section. Nothing crazy.
What are some of the types of shrubs, just if you could name a couple that are in that beauty
So
strip
we
zone?
have everything from, of course, Distilleum, kind of low growing, just little bunny fountain grass, some prairie drop seed, which they used at the Hewlett-Packard repositioning, the red twig, rosemary, Russian sage, some inkberry, some dwarf inkberry, of course, witch hazel, which kind of has some cool color pops, some wax myrtle, some Don's dwarf to get some more native in there, and that's kind of planted along the streetscape adjacent to the buffer, and then just some variety of grasses, adagio, as you guys have seen, some azaleas for some color as well. And this kind of the tree list. Black gums, London plane tree, willow oaks, you know, a lot of different taxodium, fall cypress varieties. Again, to stick with that big creek watershed.
So it looks like you've alternated your tree types as you go down the streetscape. Is that correct?
Yes.
Some different oaks and,
Yeah, we
Okay.
wanted to, again, trying to create that kind of variety of heights and different
Yeah.
types of trees that you would see, you know, in the forest along a creek. So I think it'll be a really cool streetscape, especially with the, you know, those varieties in there.
yeah, I agree. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. If you'll help, like this section of roadway, in looking at where the overall master plan, which part or piece is this? Where are we on the site?
That would be this stretch right here.
That's goes down there, okay. All right. And then the other part plans that you had.
Yeah, I'll go back up the street. So this section is turning down Creek Street.
Oh, is that's called Creek Street?
Yes.
We have Dance Boulevard, okay, and then Creek Street,
Yeah,
okay?
running north to south.
Don't say that 3 times fast, you'll.
That section is moving here along here.
Okay,
So that's the stream buffer, kind of, I think there's gonna be a park and kind of trail design there.
okay.
And then moving north, this
That's the
makes the
bend.
turn up Dance Boulevard towards Windward, which would be this section right here.
Okay,
And then ending with basically what I presented earlier, this last section, meeting
Okay.
Windward Boulevard, which is right here.
okay. And then the rest of the roadways out to West Side Parkway, have you done those as well?
We have not.
Not,
at this time,
that's
but
still on the drawing boards, I guess.
No, yeah, yes, sir. So that's a later phase. Once that,
Okay.
you know, that center village retail starts to come online, the other pieces and
Okay.
parts, the next phase of the townhomes, that kind of piece. So just to facilitate this, to get this up front and then still, you know, have a functional office building, that's where we
Okay,
currently
very,
sit.
very good, all right. All right, thank you for that overview.
So how do we describe this section? So it's the Dance Boulevard entrance, Dance Boulevard Creek? I mean, I'm trying to figure out, are we bounding it to this, or?
Let's see, all right, Brian, can you just, where is Dance Boulevard? All right, it starts there,
So Windward Parkway.
Right.
Dance Boulevard. And then the south section is Creek Street.
that's Creek Street right there,
Right
okay.
here.
And it's specifically the south section, south of Dance Boulevard that we're talking about. It's not, because haven't we already been through the north section of?
Yes, sir. So
Creek
you've
Street.
got, this section has been approved.
Yeah.
And then this north section right here.
So we could say Dance Boulevard and Creek Street south of Dance Boulevard.
I think that makes sense.
Now, Dance Boulevard continues across Creek Street, right?
It does.
Well, I think we bound it as the sections of Dance Boulevard and Creek Street that were presented today.
That would be accurate.
Okay. All right, before any motions are made, just make sure, is there any public comment about this application? Any public comment? Okay. All right. Somebody want to try to craft a motion?
Mr. Chairman, regarding Continuum Alpharetta Streetscape Plans, DRB 252-30045. I make a motion to approve the application as presented today, the sections, the landscape plan for the sections of Dance Boulevard and Creek Street that were presented today from Windward Boulevard down to the south section of Creek Street.
Windward Parkway, right?
Did I say Windward Parkway? Okay, sorry. With the condition that, well, with not the condition, but it's recommended that we provide a maintenance landscape plan to propose how these perennials and grasses are maintained through the seasons. End of motion.
Second?
All right, a motion by Ms. Sprayberry, a second by Mr. Owens. Comments, questions about the motion? So have you started to work on a maintenance plan, or has there been any kind of draft of it or anything? Just
Well, we have the arborist overall maintenance plan that takes care of the trees, but
Okay.
we'll work on the understory kind of draft of the maintenance plan.
you probably
with
thought about it,
Southwest.
so, okay.
Yep.
All right, very good. Any other questions or comments about the motion? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed? No opposition. Motion passes 7-0. All right. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Will we see you next month?
I don't know about next month, but
Okay.
No, sir. We'll be back at some point.
All right, very
but,
good.
we
Thank you for your time this morning.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
as
Yep.
always.
Okay, our next applicant this morning is going to be Ashton Atlanta Residential as part of Continuum. You're here.
Got a
Good
lot of
morning.
visual aids, so give us a moment to bring them all up here.
All right. I'll tell you what, do we need to take a short recess for anybody while they get set up? Okay, let's take while you guys are getting set up, we're going to take a five-minute recess. So, all right, thank you.
really good steak, then I'm gonna go get a good steak. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, we like that. That's right. Well, see, Prue is one of my favorites because you're right in the center of it all. Yeah. And I think their prices are fair. Look what I just found in the tray. Joel, look what I just found in the tray. Right here, next to the keyboard. That's exactly right. You want it? So it doesn't walk off this time, or just leave it here? Okay.
Ashton, Continuum Townhomes. What's that? I hope so. I think we can.
Especially like if, you know, you and Jim and I get together and, but I've got by the name of some
Okay.
And he's, you know, actually I've worked with him with the community that I'm doing on Cumming Street.
You gonna be at the lake this weekend?
So he would.
We're gonna be out there. To go to Saturday for our neighbor.
We're gonna be out on the lake probably the whole weekend.
Where are you gonna be?
Near 4 Mile.
Let's text each other. Maybe we'll connect. That'd be fun.
Thank you.
No, you're fine.
Okay, let's end our recess this morning and get started with our next application. And I've got it listed as Ashton Atlanta Residential, or maybe it's Continuum Townhomes. but
It is.
whatever, but,
Ashton Atlanta Residential is the applicant.
Okay, very good. All right. If you'll make sure you speak into the microphone, introduce yourselves this morning, and then give us an overview of what your application has in it today.
Sure. My name is Brian Mutterman with Ashton Woods Homes. This is John Briscoe. Our office is at 3820 Mansell in Alpharetta. And we're here to present the, you kind of heard it mentioned a little bit in the previous application, but the townhome portion of Continuum, which will be in that southeast corner of the site that you saw on the previous slides. So thanks for the opportunity to be here, show you our townhome design, kind of our building materials and color palette as well. We're excited to have the opportunity to be back in Alpharetta, kind of continue our tradition of beautiful townhomes here. We have our Serenade project, which is kind of behind Ameris Bank Amphitheater, and looking forward to another opportunity in the city. We think this community, Continuum, will be highly sought after, one, for location, but then also for the amenities that are going to be within the development. I think our patrons, our homeowners, would be able to patronize the retail and restaurant venues within the development, as well as, excuse me, hopefully attract some more businesses to the area as well. So our community, it's going to contain 70 3-story, 3- and 4-bedroom townhomes that are going to have designer-appointed features and options in each of those townhomes. And what we tried to do was complement the architecture of the multifamily developer. I was here for their presentation and saw their architecture, so we tried to complement that, but also still provide a unique and varied elevations for our townhome site. And there was a couple of things I noted during the multifamily developer's presentation, noted from the board, which was locations of exterior vents, locations and screening for AC units, relief to the building massing, and I believe there was a comment made to try and find some brick that's not too tan. So we tried to incorporate all of that in our building design. I passed it along to our architecture team, so I think you'll see that here in our design as well. So we have got samples of everything that we're going to, that we're proposing to use, building material and color-wise, on the buildings. John here will be happy to bring those around as we go through. Only thing I ask is when he brings around that big rail section, if you could make him hold it above his head for an extended period of time, see if we could maybe get him a little bit of a shoulder workout this morning. So we do have 3 townhome elevations for the site that we've tried to keep kind of simple yet colorful and vibrant. They each use a light-colored brick and a light-colored cement siding material, contrasted by some black elements there. So we've got black window and door frames, black door hardware, some black exterior fixtures. You can see the rail, and then some black metal awnings as well. Finally, we've got these black address plaques with individual brushed nickel numbers on those, which we think help kind of complete the whole look of the buildings. So this elevation 1, as you can see, there was a note during the work session that we listed the brick as the same on all 3 pages. We caught that mistake about 24 hours after I sent this to Brett, so we have corrected it. But this elevation actually uses an off-white brick, which is General Shale's Old Bailey is the color. And then we can see where we have that cement siding material in a horizontal application on the 3rd floor there. We're proposing to use Nichiha's Vintage Wood line of cement siding, and it's in the poplar color, which John can bring around for you here in a moment, and that's the color. That is the actual poplar color. So both of those light elements contrasted, like we said, by the black awnings that you see over the front door and the triple windows on the main level, and then that black metal cap at the top of the Nichiha material on the 3rd floor as well.
So, Brian, just to get us
Sure.
oriented on the site plan, can you tell us which elevation this is?
So to answer that question, we have not picked which buildings will be which elevations on the site plan. Haven't got that far along in the site planning part. So we've got 3 different elevations today. What I can tell you is, as Brett was talking about in the work session, you've got that kind of main dance boulevard that comes down to Creek. So there will be 3 buildings that face that. We will make sure that those buildings are not the same elevation. They will be different.
Okay.
Sorry, say that, so what does that mean? So there's 3 buildings that face Dance Boulevard.
Correct.
They will not be the same as each other? Or
They won't be the same as each other, so they won't be the same elevation. So you may have 2 that are elevation 1 and 3, and then the other one will be a separate elevation. You may have 2 that are elevation 2 and 3, and have a separate.
So the goal is buildings that are adjacent to each other will have different schemes.
Correct. So the buildings will have you will be looking at a different elevation for each of those buildings.
For each
correct.
townhome?
Each
Or-
townhome building. So if there's a
Each
building
cluster.
of 8, it may be elevation 1 like you see here. If the next building is a building of 7, it may be elevation 2 that you'll see in the following slides. And then that small building that's up front, that's building 3, it may be a different elevation.
So in this example that's showing in application, the 2 different buildings will be different schemes.
Correct. This
This
we
is just
kind of
for-
throw it out
yeah.
throughout a streetscape. Yes, this is not showing that you would have a building with elevation 1 next to each other. That's not what we're trying to do.
But any cluster of connected buildings will be the same.
Correct.
Facade. So, maybe I didn't ask my question right. So the 3 facing Dance Boulevard, I guess that's 67, 68, 69, they're all going to be the same as each other, but those 3 buildings, because they're all together, right? That will
So those 3 units will make up 1 building, yes.
and
Those
that
3
will be
units
matching elevations on those 3.
will have matching elevations. Then you would come around to the next building that's down on Creek Street, which I believe is
It's 1, starts at 1.
yeah, I can't remember, it's a 5.
It's a 5.
5-unit building, so that would be
5-unit building, 1
possibly elevation 2
through,
or
so 1
elevation
through 5.
3.
Okay.
We have not gotten to the point where we're programming which elevations are going to be in the different buildings.
When we're reviewing this, it would be nice to see some of these materials. Maybe we could pull them both up on the screen at the same time to see how they work with each other.
Yep, so if you'll go to the next page, that's all of our materials and colors that we've got for elevation 1, and John can show you, we're happy to bring that up. He's got 2 hands, so we'll carry as much as we can get up there. But, yeah. go
I'll
ahead.
tell you what, just John can stay right there. Just hold up. Let's just walk, you've got.
Sure. Okay.
We've
Hold up
seen
that
the
brick.
General Shale, the Old Bailey brick, okay? So that's the brick and the mortar color, and then you showed us the Nichiha, and then looks like there's some trim color, the snowbound trim
The
color.
white chip there, that's going to be for your trim and
That's the
garage
trim,
doors.
okay. And then the tricorn black, I guess is okay, all right. And,
Then
what are
show
the
it,
other-
you can show the window and door frame there, John.
okay,
You'll have that black hardware set that you can see there as well.
okay. You came prepared.
So just to confirm, everything's the same on every building except for the brick and the trim garage paint color?
As we
Correct.
have it designed now, yes.
Okay, so like tricon, everything on that screen, everything on the right, and then everything from tricorn black down, and then the Nietzsche.
Yes, when we go to elevation 2, you'll see the only thing that's going to change is that brick color and the trim and the paint color.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that's elevation 1. All right, let's hop to, I guess, elevation, here we go.
So elevation 2 is the Stone Mountain brick, which we previously listed all of them as. It's a light gray color, and as you can see, we contrast that with the Nichiha material in a vertical application on all 3 floors. This elevation's got a lot of windows along the front there. We have that Juliet balcony on the main level. So those are actually 4 door panels. The outside door panels will be stationary. The middle 2 door panels will be operable so that you can open and close those. And again, that metal awning over the front door, kind of similar to what you saw in elevation 1. And as Ms. Palmer previously pointed out, yes, the materials are going to be the same materials that you saw in elevation 1, with the with the exception being the brick being a different color and then the trim and paint color being different.
All right.
Elevation 3 kind of pulls in design elements from elevations 1 and 2. So again, you have that Nichiha material in the vertical application on all 3 floors. We have the white, off-white Old Bailey brick. Still have a Juliet balcony. This time it's going to be just the 2 doors that are operable. But then to kind of make this elevation a little unique, we've added these herringbone brick boxes above the 3rd floor. And then you've got that brick roll-out corbel at the roof line there.
So elevation 1 and elevation 3 have the same materials?
Same color palette materials, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I will add at this time that we are not rigid on that. If we want to see different elevations and different colors, we can do that too. It's not set in stone.
I think I'd like to see a little bit of variety, especially with if you've got like 5 units, that gets to be kind of a bigger block of buildings. I'd like to see some variety.
So one thing that maybe doesn't come across because the elevations aren't adjacent to each other, which I think is a good thing, is that even though these colors match the other concept, the architecture, the fenestration is very different. So that'll help a little bit.
Yes, sir. So our idea was to provide the variation, the uniqueness between the buildings, not necessarily between each individual unit. So that's why you'll see we show a block of units to create one building with that elevation. Colors and materials that we had talked about previously for elevation 3. So we are proposing 4-sided brick on the townhome buildings. That's why you see brick on the left and right elevations here. These window locations are approximate. Those could shift a little bit depending on options that are chosen within the individual end units. So we tried to make the best representation that we could here. We've also shown, and obviously topic for discussion, but we have shown vents coming out the side elevation there, simply because sometimes on an end unit, it's a little bit more efficient to be able to take that vent out the side. However, what we would do is we would paint that vent the trim color that we've shown you for each home to help kind of conceal its appearance along the side of the house.
I'd recommend that, excuse me, I'd recommend that you paint the vent to match the adjacent brick so that
Correct,
it goes
yes.
away. Okay, good.
Yes, it would be painted to match the brick.
Is there any articulation of the brick on the end units and, whether there's a banding or like
Soldier course, something.
soldier course, something that defines the base?
So can most definitely be added. We didn't show it in the drawings here, but that is most definitely something that we could add from an architectural feature standpoint.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at two. I'm looking at the left and right elevations here. And for what numbers was that? 67, 68, and 69, those 2 end units for that three townhome building.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to create, I'd like to see a little bit more architectural interest on those elevations. I know you've got some windows there, but that's a 3-story tall kind of brick almost a brick wall.
Got it, on that side elevation, a little bit something to break it up? Okay, that is definitely something that we can incorporate into the design.
Because you're already spending the money on this nice finished material. It'd be great if you could just create a little bit of interest, especially if there's any visibility from the street, which I think there is.
And maybe it's like where you've, you know, some of the older buildings, they've bricked in where a window used to be or something, so you have that, at least some.
So let me ask you this then. So similar to that herringbone box that you see above the third floors, something like that, maybe the size of a window or so forth on the side elevation there to break it up?
Opportunity, yeah, to break that up.
Okay.
That's 3 stories of brick. That's pretty, I mean, the brick's got a little bit of interest, especially the stone mountain. It's got the texture to it, so that adds, but it doesn't quite, you know, you just need a little bit more, a little bit
Okay.
more architectural
Yeah.
character is all.
And you're talking just the ends that don't have another building meeting up to them.
It'd be the only opportunity we would, yeah, oh, I see what you're saying, they don't, or that are not
So if you've
adjacent
got
to another
This
building.
thing where you've got two buildings close together, you know, that,
Yeah.
they're not talking about that.
Understood.
It'd be just the one end that was.
The one, so there's the 1 3-unit building up at the front, and then there's that also, if you look in the southeast corner of the site, I believe it's a 4 or 5-unit building, I can't remember exactly, the opportunity.
Can you pull up the site plan real quick? And I'm not sure if we're reviewing landscaping today, but
We are not
trees.
reviewing landscaping.
Yeah, because another point is that even in this rendering, you know, trees will soften up those ends of the building as well, which will be helpful.
It will, but it'll take a while to do that, but.
That's true.
Yeah, looking at, yeah, what I was referring to is like 67 and 69 up there I guess that's Dance Boulevard. There you go.
Yeah. But you got 1, 10,
I'll see if you. go
43, 24, 11, 23, 36, 56. I mean, there's a bunch of them that have an end that faces a street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something we can definitely incorporate.
And it looked like that one elevation that you just flipped through had some windows on the end of it, some more windows than the elevation we were looking at. There, look at that, no, there was another one you just popped through.
The black and
Oh,
white.
look at number 2, look at slide number 2.
Hold on, let me get back to my.
Or, oops. One more up there on the end. There you go. See how you pop some windows in, you got some soldier coursing.
So again, and what you're seeing in the, this is just a typical elevation. There's going to be window changes, especially on each one of those end units. You're going to have additional windows. This, for instance, on the, whoops, looking at the wrong one. For instance, on the right elevation, there may even be an additional window on that if there was a terrace level bedroom chosen. So yes, we'll have the fenestration to break it up. We can incorporate the herringbone or the architectural design elements in the brick as well. So my favorite part of the townhomes that we've designed is going to be the rear elevation here. Up at the top there, what I want to just point out, you can see those parapet walls that would be on 3 sides of the roof. So it is a sloped roof that it's up there. It'll lead to a black gutter, which John has somewhere over there. Black gutter that runs along that rear roof line. You'll have downspouts come in between each townhome unit that lead that roof water off of there. Now the feature that I like the most is this inset covered porch that you see. So it's going to have that Nichiha material in a vertical application on 3 sides, kind of make that area pop. But what I really like about that is it's going to provide some private, all-weather space, outdoor space for our homeowners. And we will have the rail up there along that to secure that area. Higher, John. Higher.
That's called curls.
Below that, you'll see we're speccing a Wayne Dalton 9504 or 9405 carriage style door. We've got a cut sheet for that because I couldn't bring a door panel in here that you can pass around. That'll have carriage style hardware on it, but we will paint those doors to closely match the brick in hopes of also, again, making that kind of inset porch area pop. You'll have the address plaque centered above that door. Same kind of light fixture that we would have by the front doors will now be in the rear there. You can see next to the garage door. And then we've also tried to show kind of approximate locations of where exterior vents might be on the rear, and again, paint those to match the brick. And lastly, you'll see we've tried to show where the AC condensers will be. So on an end unit, which you would see in that right picture there, on the end unit, that AC condenser might sit off to the side of the building slightly. On the other units, they would sit either on the dividing line between two units, or we will center them between the end of the unit and the garage door opening. So thanks for your opportunity, or thank you for the opportunity to present all this. Like I said, we're very excited to be a part of Continuum. Think this is going to be a really cool project, and I am happy to answer any other questions y'all might have.
Okay, so all the units are 3 stories, correct?
Yes, sir.
No, there's no 2-story units or whatever?
No, sir.
Anything else happening on the roofs?
So I noted during there was the comment made during the work session about kind of looking like a bunch of soldiers up there. So what we haven't shown here, and it's hard to show, is obviously the topography of the site will come into play when we set the buildings. So there will likely be step downs at some point in the building. So whereas you look now and these elevations show a roof line that goes straight across, those are going to step by 18 inches, 2 feet, somewhere along the way in that building as you're sticking with grade and chasing topo throughout the site.
That'll help a lot.
Yeah.
Well, so if you go back to the site plan then, the overall site plan, I think you had somewhere, I know we had an R package. There,
Oh, it went. Now it's back.
there you go. So zoom out just a little bit. Kind of walk us through what do you see as high and what do you see as low on the?
So the site generally falls from the southeast corner towards the creek area.
So it's, okay.
Yep.
Right.
What we know for a fact right now, based on the design of the infrastructure, and I should back up and say we have not finalized our LDP plans for the site, so I don't know grades 100%. The most I've got kind of direction from the infrastructure package that was presented. What we do know is that these buildings along Creek Street here, there will be elevation change on those because that road's kind of moving downhill. So those buildings will be chasing grade. We also will likely have the opportunity in that area to provide some landscape buffering behind the sidewalk, and there will probably be steps or something that will lead down to those units because that road grade is going to be a little bit higher than our site grade there.
So, all right, help me out again. All right, the bottom right of the site is the high point?
Yes,
Is that
you're going
right?
to
And
kind of
then
move towards the creek.
Natural area, creek area, that's the lower point on the site?
Yes.
Okay.
So do you think that along Creek Drive, or I think
Creek
that's
Street over here?
Creek Street, do you think those 5 units will step once within the cluster? Or do you
I
think
would
multiple
imagine
times, or?
once or twice within the cluster. I don't know the exact grades because we haven't completed our LDP design, but I imagine you're going to have 1 or 2 roof steps in
That'll
that.
change the look a little bit.
Okay. And then, let's see, so all the units, at least the units along Dance Boulevard, those 3, the front door is facing Dance Boulevard.
Yes, sir.
The units along Creek Street, the front door is facing Creek Street.
Correct.
Okay. And just curious, how about the units that
Sure.
are?
So these units here,
Yes,
the front door will face towards the natural area and our future amenity site.
okay,
These along the bottom here, your front door will face towards the roadway.
okay,
These here, your front door will face towards the south as well. These 4 interior buildings, the front doors will face each other in kind of a courtyard area among the middle here.
okay.
So with sorry to go back to
Sure.
the stepping units, but with the units as they step, will the parapet return back into the building so that it doesn't look just like a kind of a saloon front? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, so that you're not holding that.
Like,
you're
will
not
the
holding that across
parapet
the front?
return back into the building? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying to understand. So
I could-
parapet to the adjacent building, you mean?
Correct. So a higher up building, if you step it down and don't return the parapet, you'll have kind of this parapet that just sticks up straight without,
You're speaking between units.
between units,
not
correct?
between buildings.
Between townhomes.
Yes,
You have to make that-
because you are returning the parapets on the ends of the buildings, but I mean, within the single building, between units, if you step down, I
Because that
presume
top
you'd have to
parapet-
return that parapet back, otherwise you'd see the
You're going to just be
TPO
looking at the
roofing,
side. You would also be draining water off of that one unit onto the next.
and you'd also see the sloping of,
Correct.
so is that,
That would be our intent as designed,
okay?
yes.
Well,
I think
for-
that's important.
For fire code, they're gonna have to run that wall, that parapet wall up a certain height anyway, right? Like 3 feet above the roof line?
Or to the
For
roof
fire-
line, yeah.
for
As
fire
far as, yeah. I think,
code issues, so. the-
I think
you
it
remember what it
depends
is?
on
You
the
remember what it is?
demising wall
2 feet?
detail.
Yeah,
3
that's-
feet above the roof line. I can't remember which is. There is a code, you're correct.
Right.
There is a code. You have to carry it.
You have to do it
to
at a certain point,
point.
but if it steps
Yeah.
down more than, anyway.
But I think that return should be consistent with the material along the parapet.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It would be a brick material consistent.
That's
Correct.
great. Yep.
Okay. Any of these units have fireplaces?
There will be an optional fireplace. What we have not decided yet is whether that's going to be a direct vent fireplace or a natural gas. I would lean towards telling you it's probably going to be a direct vent because that's going to be easier to handle from a venting standpoint. But that would create one more, we'd have one more vent to pop out of the unit somewhere either
Okay,
on the
but I'm
rear
just
or the
thinking something coming above the roof, for instance.
Yeah, if we can take it through the roof, that's going to be your easiest route, correct?
Any buildings have elevators for any of these townhomes?
No, no elevators.
All stairs, okay. Just curious, looking at this overall site plan, for instance, how is trash being collected or picked up?
We would have, I don't want to speak because I don't know that we've gotten that far in the planning. We're not planning a dumpster, I can tell you that much. We would hope to have individual cans at each home.
Okay, and then like for mail service,
There'll be a clustered mailbox that is in this area right here.
okay?
That's Cry-by post office now.
I mean, I guess I assume we're not approving the site plan today, or are we?
No, actually, I believe the only thing you would have to approve, Brett, correct me if I'm wrong, is landscape with kind of landscaping and streetscape inside the site plan at some point, but the site plan itself has already been, that's already taken
All
care
right,
of.
so today we're just looking at the architectural, the exterior elevations and materials for the townhomes.
Yes, sir.
Just, all right.
And you will have to see me again at some point for this amenity building, because we're going to have to come back for that too.
And that amenity, I guess, has a swimming pool or a lap
Yes, sir.
pool or something, then, okay.
Can I ask one more question
Sure.
regarding the compressors, which you showed on the elevation of an individual building? In these clusters of 7 units, would they all be stacked at the end of the unit, or how would you? treat-
AC, the AC
AC.
condensers?
Yes.
So if you can imagine if you're, it'd probably be easier if I can show you.
You could just point on the, if you want to point on the site plan.
I didn't, I was struggling trying to figure out the best way to explain that, so I'll show you. Yeah, so if you can see this box here,
Yes.
on an end unit, so if you have a 7 unit, so the 2 that are on the ends, we would likely set that AC condenser just a little bit off the edge of the unit.
Yep.
It's obviously going to be screened by some sort of landscaping.
Yep.
On any of the interior units, you can see this square here, the option we would have is to either kind of center those between the 2 units, or if you're in a step-down condition like we were talking about earlier, you would take this AC condenser and you would basically center it between the edge of the building and the garage door opening.
And is there 1 unit per building?
Yeah,
or-
we'll have one
Okay.
AC condenser per townhome.
And how big are the townhomes in terms of square footage?
Right now, we're looking at probably about 2,200 to 2,500 square feet.
Okay.
And
So you're planning to have 1 condensing unit per?
Yes, sir.
Townhome.
John and I have both built 4 stories. We did the 4-story stuff in Aria, and we did that with 1 unit also.
It's
big unit.
Bigger.
They are bigger and bigger. It's amazing what they can handle these days.
I would imagine there's no roof access.
No.
Okay.
Long ladder.
Yeah.
the AC units that go to the outside on the end units, would those be placed, if we're looking at the site plan, would they be between the 2 groupings of buildings, or?
I should have put that site plan in my presentation here. I will have to switch back and forth. second. So you're saying, would you have one here and one here?
Correct, like on the inside rather than the outside end unit.
I don't know that we've got strong feelings one way or the other about
Right.
that.
I feel like that might be better, just to have it on the inside rather than on the outside of the units.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, then on this unit, it would be set on the edge of the driveway, and on this unit, it would be in the kind of courtyard area? Or did I get
Well,
that backwards?
No, so on the right-hand side, would that one be placed in the center between, let's see, between 55 and 56?
So in this location?
Right, and so
then
then
this
the ne-
one be off? Yeah.
Exactly,
that-
right.
Again, I don't think that we are, I don't think that we're beholden one way or the other on that. We'd
I
be
think the
okay.
treatment of that is important when you come in for landscaping, because
Yeah.
those courtyard vistas and whatnot are, could be really, really nice, but if they're cluttered with a bunch of units, it could look not so great. So I'm sure the landscape plans will address that.
So if I'm a potential homeowner buyer and I say, oh, I want to do something to my brick color or whatever, will there be some will there be an HOA for this development?
Yes, sir, there will be.
Okay, so there'll be some sort of,
There will be controls.
okay. Or if I want to get a satellite dish on
Yes,
my.
if you wanted to have chickens in your backyard, yes, we'll take care of all that.
Okay.
I read I don't remember whose zoning it was. I read a zoning the other day where the ordinance actually stated you could only have 4 chickens in your property.
Does that include biddies?
I guess. I don't know how, I don't know if the eggs count. I
Okay.
don't know how that works.
I don't think these lots are big enough for.
No, we're not big enough. We're not proposing chicken coops on the roof or anything like that either.
So, just real quick, back to the garage doors. There's a number of different styles, and maybe you said this. Is the intention to vary the styles throughout?
So thank you for bringing that up. The 2 choices that we're looking at are Camden, and I think the other Westfield. That top left one is likely is what we're looking to use.
Okay,
Because of the size of the door, you'd break it up by having that.
okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for the applicant this morning? I'll ask for, is there any public comment about this application this morning? Any public comment? All right, no public comment. Okay. So it sounds like you'll be coming back to us for the amenity building or buildings or pool house or whatever, landscaping. Okay. All right.
So just recap here, we didn't really come up with any conditions, right?
I
This
think
is
further
pretty much-
articulation of the side elevations to be
Oh, that's right, the
approved by
right.
staff. I still personally think, I like the fenestration idea, but I'm a bigger fan of breaking up the box somehow, whether it's some kind of, soldier course at the first floor, just to break up the massing a little bit.
Understood.
So,
We can provide some representative drawings that show you what we could do with that.
great.
Let the mason be a craftsman.
Well, I think, as you mentioned, landscaping is gonna have a lot to do with that too. That
Yeah.
base, the base foundation of the building to conceal that, help kind of break that up or hide that a little bit.
Yes. I can make a motion, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250028, Ashton, Atlanta Residences at Continuum Residential exterior plans. I'd like a motion to approve the submission as noted with the following condition. Applicant will provide further articulation on the end units of each building to break up the massing and provide further fenestration points of interest to be approved by staff, and a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rowan, a second by Mr. Swing. Any questions or comments about the motion on the floor? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes 7-0. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate it. All right. When do you think you'll be back in front of us again?
Well, this was our first big hurdle that we wanted to get over to make sure we were headed in the right direction. So now it'll be full steam ahead on LDP designs, at which point you'll see us for
Okay.
landscaping.
Okay.
And eventually, we got to figure out what we're going to do with the
Okay,
amenity building.
very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next meeting is Friday, September 19th. And with that, with there being no further business and no objections from fellow board members, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you. Happy Friday.